Welcome back to Pokemon FireRed. As you can see, I'm doing some sweet laps here on my bike in Celadon City. I made it all the way over here from Cerulean, if you could believe it. There is a reason I'm here, by the way. It is because I wanted to go shopping. On floor 2, there was a TM department, and most of these TMs are just like straight up garbage, but one of them is Hyper Beam. And Hyper Beam is a really, really powerful normal type move. I'd like one, please. And we can't teach it, well, we can teach it to someone right now, but we're not going to. We will save that for a future event. But anyways, now that we're in Celadon, it's time to leave Celadon. We're going to go to Lavender Town next. It's very, very exciting. The spooky ghost town. There's the... Right, we got the Sylph Scope in the last episode, and now we can see ghosts, so it only makes sense we go to just a mass cemetery and, you know, maybe disrespect the dead a little. That's fun. Saffron City's a little, like, under takeover from Team Rocket. I'm not going to worry too much about it, though. I'm just going to try and dodge all the trainers on this route, as I did last time. It should be pretty easy, because we still have Meowth with a cut, so we can just skirt our way through here. I think you can find a Growlithe in this grass. He's a pretty, like, good fire type if you know, didn't pick Charmander. There's another grass patch down there. Let's hope it's not, like, a billion rare candies, because I'm not picking it up. Alright, made it. Oh, skirt. Nailed it. Alright, made it back to Lavender Town. Very exciting. And before I forget, I'm going to do something mildly important. I'm a little sick of having Rachel just not have any defenses, so we're going to rare candy here. Yum, yum, yum. Level 26. Look at those stats. And she wants to learn Thunderbolt. Yes, I will be deleting a move. And I think I'm going to be deleting Thunder Wave. I just haven't been using it that much, and, like, we already have Static, and Thunderbolt has a 10% chance to paralyze. Thunderbolt, by the way, is a 95 power move. It's just, like, insane. And now, we're going to use a Thunderstone on Rachel. So Thunderbolt was the move I wanted her to learn before she evolved. If you evolve her prior to learning Thunderbolt, I don't think Pikachu, or rather, I don't think Raichu ever learns it naturally. You know, you miss out on Agility, Light Screen, and Thunder, but I'm not waiting until level, like, 55 to get Thunder, so... Thunderbolt is a really, really good move, and now we have a Raichu who hopefully has actual defenses. Congratulations. Now Alliteration has been completed. Time to go into Pokemon Tower? Yeah, Pokemon Tower. It's not called Lavender Tower. So how's everyone doing today? I am just walking up these stairs real quick. We have an epic fight coming up against the man, the myth, the legend. It's Blue. This guy just, like, keeps showing up. You can fight this guy, like, right when you get out of the tunnel, basically. Listen, there's the whole theory that he's here to mourn his dead Raticate. I'm not buying into it. He has 5 Pokemon now. So something important to note is this is the fight when... You try out Thunderbolt for the first time. This is the fight when your rival's team is going to start to change dynamically depending on what starter you got. I mean, he's always going to have a different starter depending on if you picked a different one. Good job, Rachel. First time as a Raichu, doing well. But this is the fight where your rival, much like my team, will always have a Grass, Water, and Fire type. There's his Fire type, Growlithe. If you picked Bulbasaur, this would obviously be a Charmeleon. So his Water type for me is going to be Wartortle. But if you didn't pick Charmander, his Water type is going to be a Gyarados for the rest of the game. So that's a fun fact. I don't know, I'm not that scared of this guy. He has, like, some good type advantages. Burn is not super important because we have Water Pulse. I'm just realizing I don't actually know what Vaporeon's ability is off the top of my head. And that's about as far as that thought goes. I'm not sure. Maybe I'll check it at some point. So yeah, this guy is, like, he's basically just showing off his new team. He ditched his Raticate for a better Pokemon. This should be Execute. Yep. So sending out the Grass type, so naturally we will switch out to our Fire type. You can see the theme working with you. Like, set mode is just not that bad in this game, really. Also, this guy's Pokemon is really low level, but that's because I guess you're supposed to do this first. Reflect. Fair. Actually, we actually have the ability to get the Reflect and Light Screen TMs right now. I just didn't show it off because, quite frankly, I'm never going to, like, use them. But if you want to know how, if you go to the top floor of the Celadon department store, you can get Reflect, Light Screen, and I think Safeguard from the girl up top. It's Wartortle. Wartortle, rather. What an awkwardly named Pokemon. I skipped right past Victoria because she's so small compared to everyone else. She's one of the few not fully evolved ones. Okay, maybe not one of the few. Oh, she is one of the few, actually. It's just her and Charlie. Anyways. Excuse me. Just Bullet Seed, I guess. I don't know. I'm not running the math. No, Giga Drain is better. You know what? Thanks for the flinch, buddy. You maybe picked the better move. I just keep forgetting that Bullet Seed is... You know, it doesn't matter what I thought, okay? Giga Drain. It only has 5 PP, but, like, I mean, this is a fight. We can just heal right afterwards if we really want to. As you can see, not that scary. So this guy's last 2 Pokemon... Wait, is this... No, this is his penultimate Pokemon. So after this, he's going to have Kadabra again, I believe. We don't actually have a good counter to Psychic types. That is insanity. 3 flinches in a row off Bite. Oh, he wanted to make it a 4th, I know it. Yeah, we don't actually have a good counter to Psychic types. We don't have any Bug, Dark, or Ghost type moves. But we have the ability to learn a Ghost type move. I looked up what the TMs in the Rocket Game Corner are. One of them is Shadow Ball, and Shadow Ball is physical. And I do think that's a move I probably want to get my hands on at some point. We'll switch out to Rachel. I don't really expect her to do that well against Kadabra, but it's something. Owned. So yeah, I might pick up Thunderbolt at some point. It's just doing the slots in the game corner is so annoying. Like, it's just luck, and it costs, I think, 4,500 coins to get Shadow Ball. Very, very annoying. But I might just intermittently do it off screen, because, man, having something good against Psychic types is going to be quite good coming up. Got a Cubone, that's really interesting. Speaking of things you can catch Cubone here, and you can also catch Ghastlies and Haunters. That's not really that exciting. We're going to put Nicholas in the front. Actually, no, we're not. We're not putting Nicholas in the front. You know why? Because every trainer in here is going to have Ghastly Haunter, and Nicholas can't touch either of those. He has Dig, which is ground type, and Ghastly and Haunter have Levitate, and they're Ghost type, which means they're immune to normal and fighting. So Nicholas does not stack up quite well against those guys. It's something I was thinking about. There's actually, I think, like, I want to say there's, like, maybe 25 or, like, maybe even, like, 30 poison types in this game, which is, like, 20% of the Kanto Pokedex is poison types. Because there's, like, the Bulbasaur line, the Bellsprout line, the Oddish line, the Ghastly line are all poison types, you know, Tentacruel, Grimer, Weezing, those guys, etc. And then I realized there's only 3 ghost types in Kanto, and that's Ghastly, Haunter, Gengar. I don't know. I don't... It's really weird to, Like, I mean, they're cool Pokemon, it's just that it sucks because of the physical special split, as I mentioned before. Like, they have really, really good special stats, it's just a shame that they can't use them because Ghost physical for some reason. Also, Poison is physical, which I guess makes a little more sense, but whatever. So anyways, now that we're here in Pokemon Tower, I don't know, creepypastas? I'm not talking about creepypastas again, I was never afraid of the Pokemon Lavender Town creepypasta. I was afraid of the Sonic.exe creepypasta, but that's another story. I have really weird fears, really like latent ones that kind of... They sit dormant in the back of my brain, and then they jump out at me when I least expect them. Look at that, +3 special attack. Good job, Rachel. Things like kidney stones and sleep paralysis, these are things that I don't usually think about until I just kind of randomly am reminded of them, and then I'm like, oh, that sucks. I haven't experienced either of them, but like... I don't know, I think it would suck. I'm just kind of waiting for the day when I try to go to sleep. A demon appears at the end of my bed and spooks me. That would be unfortunate. Awakenings. Awakenings are actually about to become, like, completely useless. I didn't think she could see me from that far. Beat me not. Okay, dude. I might just end up cutting out these channelers. Okay, she only has... Jody only has a Ghastly, so it's fine. But, like, as you see, I mean, it's just Ghastlies and Haunters all the way in. So I'm probably going to cut out most of these fights just because it is what it is. I understand that most of Pokemon is the fighting, but like when the fighting is I send out Rachel and then she Thunderbolts for a one-hit kill, you might be able to understand why I'm not super psyched about showing 100% of these fights. And it's a great ball. Good. I actually bought a few of these just off camera. I like to do most of my shopping off camera just because, like, who cares? I can just update you when I get there. You'll never believe it, but she did in fact have a Ghastly. This floor is exciting. There's that ring in the center, which is like a protection circle. And by protection circle, I mean it's a healing circle. Brilliant. If you go in there, you get healed, so that's exciting. Sure hope you have an interesting Pokemon, otherwise you are getting deleted from the game. It's just another Ghastly, I'm afraid. Level 22. What's been happening? What's been happening? Nicholas needs to get levels, is the thing. He's a bit underleveled, and this isn't, as I mentioned before, this is a really, really bad spot for him to level up. In the future, he should have some decent spots. Overall, I feel like I'm at an okay level. I don't feel like I'm over or underleveled in particular. I feel like I'm doing just fine. This lady won't want to fight us. Thank you for that protection circle. And I will switch out Rachel because she has been going hard in the paint. Let someone else get a turn. Let's check Vaporeon's ability real quick. It is Water Absorb. Cool, so when she gets hit by a water attack, she restores HP instead of taking damage. Actually, like a really, really good ability. Let's just get Charlie in there. I don't know. Victoria's not good against Ghastly Haunter Gengar either. Not that there will be Gengars in here, but oh well. Give me your all. I'll try. Oh, there's a Haunter. It's like Ghastly, but evolved, and he has a big bright red hand for some reason. So what's been happening? The other TMs you can get at the Rocket Game Corner are, that's going to do 23 damage, because that's the same level as him. You can get Thunderbolt, Ice Beam, and Flamethrower. You can guess what type those all are. Really, really powerful moves for this point in the game, but I just felt it was a little much to get those. Like, I'm even a little adverse to getting Shadow Ball, just because Shadow Ball is so strong. But, okay, I'm just gonna dodge you real quick. Get this item. That staircase is the last, staircase in this, I guess you could call it a dungeon. I'm just going to try and run into as little trainers as possible, because move variation is at an all-time low in this dungeon. Ghastly. As I mentioned in the last episode, I would love the ability to use like a Gengar or something in one of these playthroughs, but Trade Evolutions, I can't do it. Another epic duel against Ghastly, very, very exciting. I'm sorry if you wanted to see it. Whatever, listen, I won't cut this one out, okay? Surely this one will be an exciting Ghastly fight where I don't just one-shot a Ghastly with an Ember. Oh, it's looking like I might be able to one-shot this Ghastly with an Ember. So yeah, overall, I think the team is looking fly. We're actually, I'll give you a little hint, we're very, very close to being able to complete the team. Dang, 24 damage. We're approaching our last team member, and it's not Meowth, which is sad, because I think Meowth, you know, Meowth is kind of like an honorary team member at this point. He's been putting in the work for us, he's been going hard, picking up Oran Berries, he knows some HMs, and so once we get our final team member, we're going to actually have to, like, teach HMs to our team members, which is unfortunate. I'm just going to assume we're never going to use Cut for, like, the entire game, because, man, Cut is just awful. And I don't think, besides Rock Tunnel, there's, like, I think one other dungeon that maybe requires Flash, and requires is a very strong word, so I'm not that worried about it. Top tip, switch a Water-type Pokemon in the front. Is there a hidden item here? No, looks like there was. Sorry, going through puberty, did I? You can catch Cubone here, as evidenced by that. Cubone is a really, like, respectable ground type. I think there's like a 10% chance it's holding a Thick Club, which that is a Cubone specific item that I think just doubles his attack or doubles the power of his moves. It's a spooky ghost, but we have the Soul Scope, so we can unveil the ghost identity. It's the ghost of Marowak. And even though it is a ghost, it is still ground type, which is why I sent out a water. I like that they make it female, because this is, the lore is that this is a Marowak mother, excuse me, and it was killed by Team Rocket. They just say that, like, several NPCs in town are like, yeah, this Marowak was murdered. Surprisingly dark. I'd be very surprised if they kept that for the remakes of this that were in Gen, like, 8 or something. They usually don't do dark stuff like this anymore overtly. Hey, there we go. We put the Mother's Spirit at rest. Goodbye. And look who it is, it's Team Rocket. Wow, how convenient that Blue was here just like 5 minutes ago. I'm gonna switch Nicholas in, just desperately hoping that he can gain some levels, because he has been neglected for far too long, I'm afraid. Alright, what do you got? 3 Pokemon, it's a Zubat. This fight looks like it won't be very exciting. Well, the only thing exciting that happened in that fight was that Victoria got crit by a wing attack and died. Nicholas also took a few licks, so we're gonna Super Potion him real quick. So, what's been happening? You know what, I'm happy to be playing Pokemon. It's a game series I enjoy. I also enjoy that Rachel is now like a real member of the team, and she can hold her own pretty respectably, I would say. She's been doing good. A Pikachu at this point in the game really just does not cut it anymore, but Raichu is like... Raichu's gonna do well for us for the entire rest of the game, I think. Coughing is a really obnoxious poison type because his weaknesses are Psychic and Ground, and he has Levitate, which makes him immune to ground. You sure showed me, buddy. Let me tell you, I feel sufficiently destroyed on my 4 health. I am locked into Thrash, though, so I am probably just gonna die to whatever he sends out next, but... It's a Drowsy. Well, he had the counter for Thrash, which is just give up. Dang, that would have been the world's sickest crit. How does this work? Do I struggle? No, I just don't do anything. That's weird. Huh. So Struggle is a move where you have to use it if you have no other moves you can use. So like if your move runs out of PP, you're forced into using Struggle, which does like a lot of recoil damage, but I've never seen that situation before where you get a move like Thrash or Outrage disabled. That was very odd. Oh, rip Nicholas, he didn't quite gain that last level, but that's fine. We defeated the Team Rocket Grunt. I'm gonna heal up Charlie just so he can... No, I'm not, I don't care. I don't care enough. This is the last Rocket Grunt before we reach this ominous old man with his eyebrows. Oh, I'm not saving anyone, kid. I don't know, I feel sufficiently unable to be stopped right now. Should you have a Golbat or two, or a Zubat, rather, I can just send in Rachel and just clean shop. Dude, bats are, like, really weird, aren't they? How weird is it that there are Pokemon in this game that, like, Zubat, he doesn't have eyes, but then he evolves and gets eyes. I thought the whole point of bats was that, like, they evolved in real life, evolution evolved so that they didn't need eyes and they could echolocate their way around twos across the board. It's just kind of weird, I don't know. I wonder if anyone is, like, offended by this game. Are people still offended by Pokemon because it promotes, like, evolution or something? You could choose Tail as a lightning bolt and that makes me afraid. I don't know, okay. I just think the games are fun. I'm not going to think too much about the hidden themes. I am going to think about the fact that I'm currently in Blaze, which is why my Embers are doing a lot of damage. Very cool. Blaze is such a nice ability. I think all our abilities are pretty good right now. Okay, Eradicate's kind of spooky. I'm going to switch out to Vance. Speaking of Pokemon that have been doing well, Vance has been going off the rails. You know, I think kind of the magic of, like, food. The magic of food, he says. I don't know. I feel... There was an interview Alton Brown gave, a world-renowned celebrity chef, where he talked about how upset he is when he goes to the grocery store because everyone just buys garbage. And it's kind of just how I feel looking at, like, a lot of products like the Maple Cinnamon Frosted Flakes, the, what was it? Like the Chips Ahoy with mini eggs in them. It's like, I'm sure people look at that with grace and splendor, but I can't. With the good graces invested within me, I cannot feel positively about that product on the market. I feel like I have, in fact, gotten away with this. In fact, I'm going to speak to Mr. Fuji. He came here of his own free will. I'm not really sure how you got past Marowak's mother, but I, you know, calm the spirit, so you're welcome or whatever. Give me the thing. You know what it is. It's the Pokeflute. So now all of our awakenings are worthless, because the Pokeflute is an infinite use item that wakes up sleeping Pokemon. It is also useful for completing the game. Do I have anything else to do here? Not really. I think I'm just going to see you guys when we get back to Celadon. That is our next area of operations for today. Alright, we're back in Celadon City. We can actually do stuff in Saffron now, but I think you're supposed to do this first source. You guys know the drill. There's a bit of a lumbering obstacle in our way here. We are going to just start off with Nicholas. Sure, why not? And I'm going to save the game. There are exactly 2 of these gentlemen in the game, and I would like to catch one, because there are only 2 of them in the game. So if I mess this one up, I have to let go to the other one. I will in fact use the Pokeflute. What a wonderful sound that you have to hear every single time you use it. It's not that long, it's just like a minor annoyance. Did I just say okay, I thought that said Snorlax wake up. Snorlax refer to himself in third person. It's a big ol' Snorlax. He is level 30, an absolute tank. And yes, I would like to catch this guy, not just because it's funny, but mainly just for the team. Snorlax is very, very powerful. Hilariously, he is a special wall with a lot of HP, which makes him quite similar to Vance. It also makes him quite similar to, you know the one, Victoria. I think all of our walls on this team are all special walls, which is interesting. And he knows Headbutt, which is, as you can see, a really, really powerful move for a Snorlax. He's going in. I wouldn't mind a Poison Point here, just to increase the catch rate. There we go. Okay. And now we're at a point where, because Poison Point is going to slowly whittle away his health, I am just going to start chucking Great Balls at him when he takes this damage and goes into the yellow. And again, if I don't catch him, this is one area where I feel like if I don't catch him, I'm just going to reset, because it doesn't matter. It's not like I'm resetting because I lost, I'm just resetting because I need this guy for the team. There's the Great Ball, by the way. It's color-coded to Kyogre. It was so close, too. He knows rest. Well, that's good in the sense that he's not poisoned anymore. Wait, doesn't he have a Chesto Berry? He does a Chesto Berry. This guy is getting on my nerves. Well, if I caught him there, I could have gotten a free Chesto Berry, so that's unfortunate. Well, let's just growl this guy so he stops doing so much damage with his headbutts. So yeah, Snorlax is like super, super tanky. And he is who I wanted to learn Hyper Beam earlier. Hyper Beam is in most games... Why am I using special moves? I just said he was a special wall. Snore, owned. In most games, Hyper Beam is a special move, but because it's physical in Gen 1, we can benefit off of that sweet, sweet, like, 100 attack stat that this guy's rocking, so that'll be good. I'm just assuming he can learn Hyper Beam. Snorlax can also learn, like, a lot of moves. He knows Yawn, Rest, Snore, and Headbutt. This guy is... he's interesting, to say the least. Yeah, I'll just continue Water Pulsing him. When we get him down to the yellow, I think we're gonna be good to start chucking balls, because if he rests again, as you can see, it just kind of fully restores his HP. There's not much point in getting him trying to get down to like 1 HP exactly if he can just rest away. So Snore, by the way, it does damage, but only when you're asleep, which is why it wasn't working there. So, this guy's moveset is like kind of cooked, and I am just going to throw Great Balls at him until we catch him. Oh, that was, without a doubt, the worst experience I've had at this playthrough so far. That was like 5 resets, and just a lot of great balls. I even had time to like consult a catch rate calculator. That was just ridiculous. We're gonna name this guy Simon, because it starts with an S and he's male. Bill's PC, I don't think so, buddy. Okay, now that that was the hardest enemy I've faced in this game. That was rough. I also know that I got the ability I wanted on him. Snorlax has 2 abilities, Immunity or Thick Fat. Immunity prevents poisoning, and Thick Fat gives a resistance to fire and ice type moves. And I know I got Thick Fat because I was actually able to poison him with Poison Powder. Anyways, I'll be moving my Pokemon around, please. Got the party Pokemon. Everyone salute Meowth. Meowth is going to the great box in the sky. And I will now be taking Simon the Snorlax out and placing him in our party. What a nightmare of events. Okay. We're gonna stand here in this Pokemon Center. Let's look at Simon's nature before we log off here. It's a lonely nature. I don't know what that means. I don't care. Those are his stats. He has Thick Fat. Absolutely incredible. Those are his movesets. Okay. We consulted the Pokemon Tower. We got the Pokeflute. We got the last member of our team, Simon the Snorlax. I'm feeling pretty good about today. So, hope you guys are enjoying the series so far, and I hope to see you in the next one. And always remember to get lots of rest. Okay, goodbye.